Advice for career change in the cybersecurity for age 40. Deidre, I feel like with your labor market knowledge, you're probably the best person
Yeah.
to answer this.
Yeah. Joker, tell us what you're coming out of, what fields you're in today. I will say that age doesn't matter. We are so short people. And yet, of course, there are people with conscious and unconscious biases for everything from ageism to gender and race. And yet, 40 hasn't hit the age one yet. So you're okay. Yeah. But it all depends on where you're coming from. If you're coming from finance, GRC is a great place. If you're coming from IT, GRC also can be a great place. And security engineering, security operations, even project management. It all depends on what do you want to do. And that you have so many options coming from IT. IT is, like, we all used to say IT security. Remember that? Showing age, right? Like, where did that go? All of a sudden, IT doesn't matter anymore in security? What? We all know that's not true. So, if you're in IT, you're probably doing security things right now that you don't even know are deemed security tasks or security projects. I would encourage you to go build a profile at CyberSN, choose IT functional role, and choose security engineering. And I bet you're going to find that you've already are doing some of these things.
Deidre, I think he's coming from catering. So what about that? What
Oh,
about
I
when
thought
it's
I
a
saw
completely
IT.
different field
Um,
altogether?
Catering. So catering, I would tell you that the number one way into cyber is an analyst role. And there's different types of analysts. Those are big companies that hire analysts. So you think the Fortune 500, think and managed service providers. That's where the sort of new into. But also catering, you have lots of experience with people. So sales, getting into an entry level or junior account management role and learning and getting trained up in you can move very quickly in sales. It's not like it takes a lot of time. Probably have good project management skills. We need a lot of project managers. People do want people to get certifications in that typically. However, catering, you've got a lot of experience with the public. And the number one challenge we have today is still communication. It just is. So that's written communication and verbal, such that things are really understood and therefore teams are productive. So there's lots of space for you.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. Susan and I just actually had this conversation. We're trying to grow in a different field altogether, and we're trying to figure out what the sales pitch is going to be. Like, what's our value to the customer? And Susan brought in her service experience. Susan, I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, but you were pushing us on selling our value, and you were like, "Yeah, I know how to do this like the back of my hand." Even though you're not a salesperson, because you were in the service industry and you understand people. I'm so curious for the Joker who's in catering, looking to transition. What else would you say to him or her?
Yeah, I live in Orlando, so everything is hospitality here. My first job was working as a front desk clerk at a local hotel. Then I worked in banking and customer service. Then I transitioned into higher education, and then I also was a server part time right by Disney. So I was telling Sasha this yesterday. It's like acting, if you will. It's turning on a different personality when you get in front of your customer. It's not being fake, but it's like
Mm.
at that moment, your customer is the most important person. And it's about the way you greet them, the tone of your voice, the smile on your face. And that also just transitions into any job you have at all if you're serving a customer. So again, I think it just goes back to your soft skills and not necessarily all the hard skills. Jason was upfront with me when I got this job. It was my personality, my culture fit that landed me this job, not my
Mhm.
hard skills.
Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate that answer. I Here the Joker wrote, I did CCNA Net Plus working on Security Plus. And I think what we're saying here is, okay, take these technical skills that you now have, take the soft skills you've learned in your catering role, put it all together and tell a story. And how you sell that story and how you sell yourself is really going to be everything.